You know that specific kind of panic that sets in? You've decided to mount a TV on the far wall, or maybe set up a projector in the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
You get all the gear in place, and then you just hit a wall. The HDMI cable won't reach.
And it's not like you can just buy a 50-foot one. I mean, once you get past 20, maybe 30 feet with a standard HDMI, things get, well, they get messy.
Messy is a good word for it. Sparkles, signal dropouts.
Or just a black screen. Nothing.
Exactly. Physics just gets in the way.
Yes.
So for this deep dive, we are looking at a workaround that feels a bit like a cheat code. We're breaking down the NTI HDMI extender, specifically the ST-C64K18GB-197.
It's a mouthful of a model number, but it really tells you everything the device does.
It really does. And the mission today is to figure out how this little metal box lets you push perfect 4K video through a standard internet cable.
Which seems totally counterintuitive.
Right, and why that completely changes how you can design a room.
Well, it's essentially turning your home's Ethernet wiring into a high-speed video pipeline.
So let's walk us through the setup. We aren't running some sick, expensive HDMI cable through the attic. We're using, what, CT6?
Right. You have a transmitter unit at your source, so say your cable box or your PC.
Okay.
And then a receiver unit at the TV. You just connect them with a single solid CATx, E6A, or even a SAT7 cable.
And that 197 in the model name, I'm guessing that's the range.
That's feet, 197 feet, or 60 meters.
That is massive. That's not just across a room. That's across the entire house for most people.
It opens up a lot of doors. But there is a nuance here, especially for people with older houses.
Okay.
If you happen to be stuck with older CT5E wiring in your walls, the device does still work, but your range for that top-tier resolution, it drops to about 100 feet.
Still pretty good. And speaking of top tier, let's get to the other number in that name, 18 GB. That's 18 gigabits per second of bandwidth. Why should you care about that number?
Because in the world of video extension, bandwidth is, well, it's everything. It's the only thing keeping your picture from looking like a compressed mess.
So a lot of the cheaper extenders are they're cheating.
They are. They compress the signal to squeeze it down the wire. It's like zipping a file on your computer.
And when you unzip it at the other end on the TV, you lose a ton of detail.
Exactly. This unit has the bandwidth to send uncompressed Ultra HD 4K at 60 Hz. It also supports something called 4.4.4 color sampling.
I saw that. And 4.4.3, that usually matters more for computers than for, say, watching movies, right?
It does. I mean, if you've ever plugged a PC into a TV and the text looked all blurry or had that weird color fringing around it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
That's because the device was throwing away color data to save bandwidth. It's called chroma subsampling.
So with 4.4.4, every single pixel keeps all of its color information.
Correct. So if you're running a gaming PC in the basement, but you're playing on the big TV in the living room, that 18 Gbps is non-negotiable. It also gives you headroom for HDR and Dolby Digital audio.
So it's not just a good enough signal, it's a perfect mirror image of the source.
That's the goal.
Now, aside from the raw performance, I wanted to touch on the quality of life features, because installing these things can be a real headache.
You're probably thinking of the power situation.
Yeah. Usually you need a power outlet at both ends. And if your TV is wall-mounted, you almost never have spare outlets behind it.
This one handles that with power over cable. You just plug the power supply into the transmitter, the end near your PC, and it sends the electricity down the Ethernet cable to power the receiver.
Wait, so the receiver unit behind the TV? It's completely phantom powered.
Completely. No power brick, no extra cable clutter, nothing.
That is a huge win for a clean installation.
Ah.
I also saw a local loop HDMI port on the transmitter. That's so you don't lose the use of the monitor at the source, right?
Exactly right. Without that, you'd need an external splitter if you wanted to see your computer monitor on your desk and the TV in the other room. This just builds the splitter right in.
Okay, one last logistical hurdle, the remote control. If my cable box is in the basement, pointing my remote at the TV in the bedroom isn't going to do anything.
They included IR extenders for that exact problem. You stick a tiny sensor on the TV bezel. It catches your remote signal, sends it backward down that same Ethernet cable.
And then blasts it out at the cable box in the basement.
Yep. So from your perspective, it feels like the box is right there in the room with you.
Seamless.
It is?
So pulling this all together, we're looking at a piece of kit that's around $195. It's not the cheapest solution out there, but it really seems like it's solving a very, very expensive problem.
It's a professional-grade solution. It frees you from the geometry of your house. You can put all the messy, noisy hardware in a closet and just have that sleek screen on the wall.
It really just highlights that the most valuable cable in our walls isn't actually the HDMI, it's the Ethernet.
Absolutely.
If you have good network cabling, you can move almost anything.
Power, internet, and now, yeah, broadcast quality video.
Makes you want to go check what's behind your own wall plates. Thanks for exploring the NTI extender with us. Go take a look at your wiring, and we'll catch you in the next deep dive.